Let's get busy.
I mean, sometimes I can. Sometimes I don't care. Depends. Are they my cats?
Yeah, it really depends on the cats.
If they're not my cats, then no, I don't
kitty.
care.
What kind of cats are we talking?
Right.
That's
What kind of-
another
Literal cats?
Everybody hear each other all right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we've been talking about porno names.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, like funny porns that we've seen.
We are going to revisit that conversation for sure.
We should, because it's pretty good.
We are recording. It is Shooting from the Lip podcast time. Babes of Metal 3? Or 3?
Oh yeah.
Weren't you here last year to promote last year's or maybe? Or
No, I think we were promoting was it Babes of Metal? I don't remember. I don't think it was Babes of Metal. I think it was the one after that.
I trust you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't the Summer of '69 show, was it?
No,
That
I think
too
it was.
recent.
I think it was that political show that went over like a lead balloon.
What was the one that, real quick, Beth,
Yes.
Hilary, Leanne are all in the house.
Hi.
Lucky me on this late edition recording on Tuesday night. It is late.
It is late.
I've been here since, what time is it?
It's
I've been
almost
6:30
9 times.
Oh jeez.
doing podcasting, but I'm having a good time. And this is a great way to end the night. These
You're right. It is.
lovelies, me and 3 women at the end of the night, that goes a long way. So
Check it off the list. It's a good day.
bucket list for the day. So,
Winning.
what was that event? Wasn't it on like Melwood something? What was that one event? No, you did something on What was that?
It's not on Melwood. You're probably
No.
thinking of Butchertown Social.
Oh, but yeah, that's it. What's that?
Oh, it was the women's show. That's what it was.
Oh.
Yeah,
gotcha.
it was the International Women's Day show.
Okay.
Yeah, the all-female cast,
Yeah,
crew, and all that stuff.
you weren't invited to
I mean, I'm sure I was invited, but I
You
was
weren't part
probably
of
at work.
that.
I know that's shocking.
It's good to see you all.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You all are very talented ladies who come on and promote some cool events. Not just cool. They're cool. They're talent. There's talent driven, but it oozes sexiness too. I'll just say it. It does. I mean,
We try.
well,
Moderately.
yeah.
Ever notice that, like, oozing, it's either pus or sex? Like,
Oh, yeah, it's nothing in between. It's
Has anyone
disgusting
ever
or
noticed that?
awesome.
The last time I encountered the word oozing,
Or cheese.
well,
Sometimes
it's
like
it's
a
oozing
wound.
cheese.
I was on Hulu the other day. There's a Hulu show that's got the doctor or whatever that pops the.
Ooh, Dr. Pimple Popper.
Is that
Ooh,
what it's
I
called?
love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's so gross and satisfying.
No,
Love
because
it.
But I don't want to see it in real life because there's smells, and
I don't
I
even
am
care.
not about
Yeah,
that.
no.
I
Like
wanna
I would
be
never
right
want.
there.
No, thank you, ma'am.
I
I
had-
actually did one for her back once.
Mhm.
Yep.
And it was terrible. That's how I know there's smells. It's terrible.
Whoa, that's a story. Hold on.
That's how you know you're really friends. When you're
I
like,
get
I got
it.
this pimple on my back
This
that I
massive
can't
blackhead, yeah.
reach. Can you please get it? It hurts. And she did. And it still hurt after, like, while she was doing it. Was terrible.
So
it took
But it was fine after that.
You performed surgery.
It was
but-
minor surgery.
Yeah, but how much? How
took-
much are we talking
It
about?
took like 45 minutes.
It did. It did. It
That
was
is
serious.
not minor for a.
It was serious.
It was
Well,
deep.
minor surgery, like that's minor. There were no scalpels involved.
no, but
no
it's a.
stitches.
Was there a lot of?
There was so much stuff. It was terrible.
What
And
did
I was
it
like,
stem
please.
from?
I don't
Wow.
know. It was on my back.
Where have you been? Where has your back been?
First of all, my whole back is a tattoo, so I don't know what's going
That's a
on
good
back
point.
there.
Yeah.
Like, all I know is I was like, what the hell is this lump? And I'm like, Beth, look at this. She's like, that's just a blackhead. I'm like, oh, good. I thought I had cancer. So at least it was just a blackhead that was like the size of Montana. And she got it all out. And it hurt like a... Oh, God.
She
it
was a trooper, though.
terrible. I had to get real high for that and kind of drunk. Because otherwise, I would have cried more.
I was
'Cause
proud
it
of
was
you.
terrible.
Did it leave a scar?
I don't know. I can't see. Like, even if I could see back there, I can't see back there, if that makes sense.
All right.
It's too covered
Whatever I was thinking about eating after
It's over
this,
now.
yeah, it's over.
This is your
Oh,
weight
yeah.
loss plan.
Yeah. So, what are you? Why are you all here? I know why. I'm letting you all. It's a rhetorical.
Why are you here?
Why are you here?
Yeah.
Why
Fill
are
in
any
the
of
blank.
us
Is this
here?
like an existential question?
Yeah, something like that. Give us the promo.
I mean, it's Babes of Metal, so the whole idea is to it's a little more of a darker show. All the girls are going to be performing to songs of the metal genre, whether it's hair metal or
Black metal.
black metal or death metal. There's going to be a whole mix of it.
Okay.
And then we have 3 local bands playing with us that have a pretty good following in the metal scene, and that's Volcandra, and they're pretty new, but they're amazing. Ulm and Blind Scryer.
Oh, okay.
And Trent from Blind Scryer has actually been a huge help. He's kind of helped me with the music side of things, and yeah, I've taken care of the rest. But
The Harlots and Hellions are back.
That's what we be doing.
This is number 3, your 3rd time around.
correct.
Take me back to the first one. What was the mindset? What were you trying to? What were you going for when you
Did that.
Yeah.
Really, it was just there wasn't really anything like that. Like, we had such a huge metal following, and that's kind of the scene that I run in, and there hadn't been that I'd seen like a lot of burlesque that incorporated like intervals of live music. And it was originally that first one we didn't have bands, so it grew from there. But the first one was just kind of like, oh, we have a good metal scene in Louisville, and
Let's do it.
let's do it. We're all kind of weird and dark, and let's run with this. And then
So far, I'm with you.
yeah. And the second year is when we decided to incorporate bands.
So last year.
Yep. So last year, and I mean, it went. We ended up selling out the Careless Lounge.
I heard. Yeah. Where was
where-
this at again? Oh,
That was at Careless
Yeah.
Lounge. That's all I'm going to say about that. And then this new one.
no. I got to know what something didn't work out there. What was the history?
There's just some differing of opinions.
Differing of opinions and some things that were not told to me until like the night of the show. Like how they told us we would have a green room and it was an active kitchen. So,
Yeah, it's probably not great for costumes.
and then there was a leak.
Saying.
There was a leak in the ceiling. There was all kinds of stupid crap. But we're going to be at 21st Amendment Tavern this time, which is where Cure Lounge used to be, and it's
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that okay? I had heard that. Yeah, I didn't know that was the name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long have they been up and running?
few. It was right before Derby, I want to say.
Okay.
So April.
Something like that.
Something like that. But they completely remodeled it. It's amazing in there. They got 2 active bars. Like that back room has been completely cleaned up, and it's like walled with like bourbon.
So it
barrel
does not
planks.
look anything like
Oh,
it
no.
was. Okay.
No, it's a restaurant and a bar, but we're going to be in the
Ah.
back room where
Okay.
it's just alcohol.
I was weirdly
Bring on the
hypnotized by the
booze.
floors. There's very nice floors. Don't know why that's what I noticed, but
They must be really nice
they're
floors.
like
She's
sparkly.
like, you know what? I could do the splits on those. I could do the splits on those
Exactly.
all day.
Haven't seen the stage yet, but if you want
Ma-
me in the dining room,
Hopefully,
I
it's
got
the same
this.
kind of floors. We'll be getting some action on.
right?
How many?
Jazzing it up.
How many of you ladies are performing?
We have 7 this time around. So we got a couple group numbers. We have a lot of strip teases, but we have some variety in this one too. I think we've got a chair dance. We got someone doing flags.
Not me. I'll be stripping.
I'll be stripping as well.
Yeah, same.
How many
We do it.
How many routines or things are you just doing one each or how?
Most people are doing 2, aren't they?
Yeah.
Or 1 in a group act.
Yeah.
What's,
I'm doing like a planned act and an improv act.
oh yeah.
Yeah, those are the most fun.
Well, I agree, but
Most fun.
even if it's improv, there's kind of still some premeditated, preconceived.
yeah, it's like you have some combinations of stuff that you do, but
Okay, but you're gonna-
Cues and things
Yeah.
like that.
yeah.
Are these playing to the band
Yeah,
with the band?
yeah.
Is everyone playing with the band or kind of?
I think it's just me and Leanne that are doing it. I think she's
We're
doing
more badass.
she's doing an Ulm song, and I'm doing Blind Scryer to kind of
Incorporate.
end the night. Yeah.
So the
Everybody's like,
bands
hold up, there's
are.
another band.
So I guess the bands are they? Do they have their? Are they like playing like a gig? You know, in between your all's.
The way it'll kind of look, it's like because of 21st Amendment being an active restaurant, we can't even get burlesque started until 10 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
So doors will be at 9. The first band will start playing at 9:30, and then
Gotcha.
we'll start at 10 with our first set, then another band, then us again, and then Blind
Gotcha.
Scryer ending the night.
Okay, so there is, per se, a music act in between your
Yeah.
Yes.
To give us time to chill and change and drink.
Change wigs, man.
Yep.
Takes time.
It takes
Can you
minutes.
divulge
Several minutes.
any of your characters? What kind of
Both my costumes have horns, and I don't really know how that worked out. but
planned?
It wasn't necessarily planned, but it worked out that way. I don't know. I have a lot of horned costumes.
You
so-
do. Yeah, I've
I like
come
horns.
to realize that.
What can I say? Horns and hooves, man.
Is you horny?
It's
All the
Cool.
time.
What about you?
I'm doing one like just kind of dark, like goth-looking number, and then my other one is a character. I don't know if you watch Metalocalypse,
oh god.
but I'm Dr. Roxo, the rock and roll clown.
He likes cocaine.
He really
stuff.
likes cocaine.
He's basically
Quite amusing.
he's basically modeled off of David Lee Roth,
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
but he's a clown.
So yeah, very
I mean-
interesting costume. It's
It's a great costume.
Very proud of it.
It's a good one.
Last year,
That was
you-
one of the first costumes you ever like made by yourself, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was a Halloween costume. It
Oh, I
wasn't even
remember.
originally supposed to
I
be
remember.
burlesque.
I was at that party.
Oh yeah. I remember, like, I think her husband came up to me and was just like, "Who's that?" And I was like, "Oh hey, what's going on?" He was like, "Oh God."
He had no
Like, oh, I had no
clue
idea that
what-
was you.
Oh, it's good stuff.
last year you said that's when you first incorporated bands.
Correct,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I guess what was it last year, between last year and this year? Give me some of the things that you're doing different. Or
Change in venue is definitely the big one for us. Careless Lounge was a nightmare. I'm just going to say it. And I have no desire to work with them again. But I mean, that was the big one. Originally, we were supposed to do it at Z Bar, but there was a double booking, and that's unfortunate. So we're going to try for that next year. It's like
Seabar would be a good place.
I'm trying to get it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger as we go, because we always have a good turnout. Like last year we sold, I think the first year we sold out Kaiju. Last year we nearly sold out Careless. Like hopefully we'll sell out this one. We've got 300 people responding. We've sold most of our VIP tickets. So
Good. What's the capacity?
I want to say it's 250 or 300. I
Okay.
can't remember.
All right, good. Everybody's got their own act. What?
You didn't ask me about mine.
Well, I'm getting there. Talk
Patience,
to me.
Beth.
Yeah.
Goodness. God, goodness.
No, he did yours, and then I had to talk about boring shit.
Yeah. All right.
Like the venue and capacities.
Fill me in. Well, I'm just like,
Everyone needs to know about the capacities, okay? You gotta know the capacities.
one of the last times I've got to see Beth perform was for Steel Panther at a Brian Fox's Halloween party. Were you? I don't know if you heard that.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah.
It
Was there
I
good?
seen the
Was there some
pictures.
stories?
They're,
Come on.
no, they're such nice people. Like, no.
No, they are nice people. They are nice
Like,
people.
because I
But-
have
Very respectful people.
I have pictures of them like without their wigs on, and they're just like, except for the lead singer, that's his real hair. But everyone, like the
Everyone else.
Lexi was a little bit stuck up, but like the rest of them were really down to earth. Like they wanted to talk to me about what I did for a living. I told them how I'm not going to say what I do, but they were like, "Oh, that's honorable." And they were really nice guys.
Good.
So, and like when they're off stage and then when they're on stage, it's a completely different thing.
I can tell you.
One of our co-performers, Trashley Whisker, she's like, I'm not sure I want to perform with them because she thought they were really misogynistic, and
That's that's kind of
just their
their
campy.
and I was
comments.
like, no,
It's a joke.
It's a listen to the songs. It's a parody. Like,
Yes.
and she's like, oh, you're okay. Yes. And she was like, they were lovely.
How can Asian hooker not be a parody? Right? like,
Community
what else
property.
Would it be? Yes. What else would it be aside from a parody?
Yeah.
Or what was it? Is it the fat girl?
Fat girl, there she blows. Like, that's Yeah, that's definitely a joke.
I think we were at we went and saw Steel
Yes,
Panther. Yeah,
yes.
that was
You
fun.
did?
Yeah,
Yeah.
when was it?
Well,
Mercury
yeah.
Ballroom.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever been to one of their shows? They are
No,
hilarious.
that
Oh
was.
my
I
God.
guess that
They're-
counted. That I was at the
Look, They're
Halloween
one of
thing.
the most entertaining
Oh,
musical
I've,
acts
yeah, I've
I've ever
heard.
seen.
Yeah,
Look,
It's all a show. Like
the whole vanity in the bass cabinet, and then touching up his lipstick and floofing his hair mid-song.
yeah.
The best.
that's exactly what I was going to
The
comment
best.
on. Yep, she's right.
All right, let's get back to you. What's going on with you at this event?
As I
'Cause
said,
this is this weekend.
yes,
Yeah.
it's on Saturday,
Yeah,
Everyone come out. It's Saturday.
yeah, Saturday.
9 p.m. doors. Like I said, I was doing an improv number with Blind Scar. Do a song called "Slow Moving." I remember me and another one of our performers, like we saw them live, and like the same exact time, we're like, this would be a real good song to strip to.
Because that's how we talk about music.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So me and Lauren kind of had to duke that out a little bit, but and then the other one I'm doing is Trashy as Fuck. It's Fuck Like a Beast by Wasp. And I'm essentially a furry in the beginning who strips down to being a she-wolf and
Wow.
harassing some lambs.
I like that.
But like they want it. It's not a rape.
It's,
Exactly.
It's consensual lambs. Everyone needs
They're
that in their
So
life.
not a raper.
Like when I was sending out the choreo notes to them, I was like, okay, this is going to sound really rapey, but you're into this, okay? You all are into
Your
this.
character is into this.
Yes. It's just how I had to write it. I was like, it's how I had to write it.
I gotta know. What's your inspiration? What runs through that head of yours?
So many things.
So many things.
Give me.
I
some.
I really like that song. Like,
Well, it's more than a song. I mean, what is? I'm curious.
I
let's-
like to be ridiculous.
She thoroughly enjoys the being ridiculous.
Like I can do, like I've got my sultry number with Blind Scryer, and I wanted to make this one as over the top, stupid and ridiculous as possible. But like there's actually a line in the song, and that's what gave me the inspiration for the costume is I'm a wolf in the sheepskin's clothing. So that's originally I wanted like a big stupid fucking mascot. Costume.
Oh my god, we talked about making one and we're like,
This sounds like a
that
pain
would
in
be
the ass.
so expensive and
Oh yeah.
time consuming that
Yeah.
we opted out of that.
I looked into renting them. I couldn't really find a sheep.
No, like you can find rams and rabbits,
Bears,
but
yeah.
bears,
Can't
Santa
think
Claus.
of like a team whose mascot is a sheep.
or a ram.
It just doesn't
maybe.
seem all that.
Yeah.
Even
common.
the ram, they're not woolly like a sheep.
Right,
It's
exactly.
not the same.
So basically, I'm wearing some onesie goat pajamas and stripping down to being wolf. There's something in my fucking eye.
Oh no.
it's your finger. I see it.
I'll just keep blinking. Okay, we're good.
Well, you're sharing your inspiration for this gig, this event. But I'm curious, what's in that head of yours
Oh.
throughout the day?
You didn't
Well,
specify.
I know you have, like most of us, we have daytime jobs and things that, but
I think it's because I have to be so. I don't know if clean cut's the word,
Not,
but I
not scary.
I
at
have
work.
because I work with kids. Like I have to be kind of on my best behavior and kind of a little more proper during the day.
My daughter, I know who you're affiliated. If your Facebook is correct and you're the C word, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, my daughter's also
Cunt.
involved. That's it.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Yeah. So
That is the C
no,
word.
It is
you're
the
right.
C word.
That is a C word. But yeah, knowing what that organization is and what they do, respect. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I know my daughter's involved there too.
So basically, it's kind of like I kind of like the idea of living a double life because
I'm just saying.
I've always kind of had that in my characters.
That is like from one extreme to another. I mean, seriously.
I mean, this is really who I am. Like, if you see me in high school, like I was.
So are
I
you
was
in
gone.
character
Nothing,
during the
nothing
day?
has changed since high school except
No.
her
Wait a minute,
job.
are you
And my
in
hair color.
Yeah.
Are you in character during the day more so than you are at night?
Yes.
Probably.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm not allowed to cuss at work.
Yes.
And
I totally agree with that
yeah,
statement.
she's known me a long time, so she.
Did
She's
y'all-
been there for me.
This is real
How
bad.
long have you all known each other?
Like
Before Paxton was born. You were pregnant.
probably 8 years, 9 years. I've known her since you were.
Since I was like,
So you all have history
12,
together.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, because
Okay.
we were all with the Vava Vixens. She
Yeah.
still is.
I did her
Yeah.
hair for a long time.
You
did.
still are,
I still am, yes.
but you two are not, right? Or
I've talked about performing with them some more, but I have some family stuff going on right now, so it's just not a great time for that. I'm like, I can't devote every Sunday to practice right now.
It's a lot.
It is a
Yes.
lot.
Are you
And
all
now-
still doing every
now that I
Sunday, right?
haven't
Every
done
Sunday.
it? Now that I
Say
haven't
what
done
was
it,
it?
Said, yep, every Sunday.
every Sunday, yeah. That's how I got to know how you all or they roll. So.
Oh yeah, anytime I have any kind of schedule stuff going on, the first thing I tell anyone, it's like I cannot do anything on Sunday
Mm-hmm.
because
I
it's
don't
taken.
miss that. I don't miss that at
How
all.
long-
Sunday is
how
my
long-
day
I
of
love
rest.
How long are those on Sunday?
It
8
really
hours.
depends.
Whoa, what?
They're long
They are
practices.
long.
Not 8 hours.
They
Sometimes.
can
Yeah,
get to
sometimes
be.
you're there for like
You
Oh,
mean to tell me
absolutely.
every Sunday you have to dedicate?
Not every Sunday.
not
for
every
8 hours.
Sunday, but a lot.
Essentially,
of
every
them.
group number gets an hour rehearsal, and so it depends
Okay.
on how many group members are in the show.
And how
If there's
practice it
7
Wait a
group
minute,
numbers,
but are you all
That's 7
rehearsing on
hours.
Sundays because of an event, or you just are keeping?
yeah,
you
it's the
keep-
Vava show that there is every couple of months.
Well,
That's
yeah,
that's
I guess so.
it's a lot. It's a new show every time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's made from scratch. So
like
occasionally,
biscuits.
And
That's
not-
what I was about to say.
Yeah, and not to
Get out of my
digress.
head, bitch.
What'd you say? I missed totally.
She said like biscuits, and I was literally leaning in to say it, but she beat me to it.
We friends.
Because she said, what was it?
Made from scratch.
Made from scratch.
Yeah.
Like
Like
There you go. Da-da-da.
Ding, ding, ding,
Don't
ding.
you do some comedy too?
I do sometimes. I do.
Because who did I have on recently that they mentioned? I don't want to say they mentioned your name.
Who
In a
knows?
comedy way, in a.
I was gonna say, hold on, should I be concerned about this?
Not about the growth on your back or
Oh, thank God.
aliens or whatever.
I mean, I do have a flying saucer tattoo on
I
my
know.
shoulder.
I remember when we did our podcast, we got deep, but we started
did.
talking.
We
deep.
talked about all kinds
I don't know
of
if you
stuff.
know this. I started a UFO podcast.
You didn't tell
Oh,
me that.
yeah.
I didn't know.
Cooper
would love to be on that. He swears he sees UFOs on a regular
I'm not
basis.
trying to hijack yours. We're still going to talk about your stuff, but yeah, there's a UFO show that was on the History Channel for 2 seasons that
Ancient
came on.
Aliens?
Well, not that.
That's a good one,
Yeah,
though.
it is good. It was called. It was called. It was called Hangar One: The UFO Files, and it ties into a group called MUFON, which is Mutual UFO Network. So, and it was on after, like at 10 o'clock after Ancient Aliens, and they
Double
did
whammy of
yeah,
awesome right
they
there.
did. It's like you jacking off for 2 hours. So
Did your
you
wrist get tired?
Sounds raw.
yeah.
Sounds like you need
From
some
scratch.
lotion From
I got-
that's
yeah,
not
from
like biscuits.
Yeah, it's not like biscuits. Anyways, I was a big fan of the show. Got to know a couple of the guys that were on the show, and I suggested let's go back and review every episode you did. So that's what we're doing, and there's some great stories.
Man,
Great
let's check
story.
that out.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, it's out there.
Aliens.
All right. From
They're
aliens to they're everywhere. They are everywhere. They're here.
Duh.
Maybe that
We've
explains
discussed
my,
this.
my
You and I
personality.
haven't discussed it, but since again, Star Wars, it's like we're just talking.
Fuck me, right?
The Navy recently verified the video shit. You saw that,
Yes.
right?
It's crazy business.
Are they?
I
Crazy
just want to
business.
absorb. Like,
Do you
I
want to
just
go get a
wanna
drink
know
now? What do
more.
you what you don't know this?
I'm not
you don't-
drinking
I
right now.
don't.
You really don't know this.
No.
You know what I'm talking
And I
about,
like
right?
aliens.
Are you talking about where they confirmed that like the videos that people had recorded, they're like
No,
all
those
right.
radar videos of pilots that they got these unidentified objects on that leaked out from 2004 and 2015. The Navy acknowledged that those were indeed, they call them now UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Whatever.
UFOs to
It's a
us.
UFO.
Yeah, that they could not.
They can't debunk it.
Yeah, they can't debunk it.
That
Gotcha.
sounds so much fancier than flying object.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does, but
But-
let's not let's not class it up, okay, guys?
I know.
It's a UFO.
I wasn't
UFO.
saying one was
That is
better
a
than the
UFO.
others.
We be seeing them.
They were just trying to
around
sound
here.
fancy.
Where I'm going is that I really believe in the next few years, confirmation disclosure is going to happen. They're here. Well, they're here. I know they're here. We know.
They're here.
And
It's
they're,
exactly-
And they're going to be
exactly.
here. So.
Except that was a poltergeist, wasn't it?
It was poltergeist.
You don't know that ghosts aren't aliens. I'm just saying. You
can't.
don't know.
We-
I mean,
we
that's
don't
what
know.
Scientology is about, isn't it? Thetans.
I mean, I guess. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess. Sorta. Yeah.
In a way.
Were you involved in Scientology?
No, that involves way too much money. I'm poor. Like, I can't be a Scientologist. I would never get to the top. They don't want my change. That's all I got for them.
I just want your.
And they got some crazy.
They want your firstborn. And, he's
Yeah.
8 now. I don't think they want him anymore.
Is he alien?
Is he an alien? I think so sometimes.
Yeah. You want to
I
hear a
think he
weird
is.
story? As a friend of mine, I know I can say this among us friends, but she is one that when a few years ago I was doing some UFO podcast, and she came on. She lives in Louisville. She will still swears by it, that she gets visited routinely at night by aliens. It's like, hear me out, it's like a portal opens up in her bedroom. And one of the last times it happened, her fiance now, and I've heard this story from him, and I kind of believe him because he's very convincing. In the middle of the night, he sees Tiffany awake, like communicating with something he cannot
like
see.
she's there, but she's not there.
Yeah, and it's not sleep paralysis. She's not talking in her sleep, sleepwalking, and he's trying to pull her, and she's having a conversation with, don't do anything. They will hurt you if you try. I mean, it was like, oh my God.
That's
So-
crazy.
It's crazy.
I guess where I'm going with this is that not every one of us can experience certain things.
Oh, no.
Because there's a connection. They're gravitating to certain people.
You can't do that to people that are going to freak out about it.
Well,
You
it's
know?
like ghosts. Do you believe in ghosts? Do you believe in spirits?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I've seen too many weird things to not believe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my friends lived in a haunted house.
I lived in a haunted house.
I've lived in haunted houses.
Mm-hmm.
How much of this thing you're doing, this
Thing.
Macabre.
Rude.
macabre, that's
It's
the word.
macabre.
No, I wasn't trying to be rude. I'm
Thing.
looking for the word macabre. That is the
Macabre
word.
thing.
How much of that is kind of with macabre that has that kind of that paranormal slash.
I mean, it's just anything really dark or.
Yeah.
Right.
It
So
always makes me think of like dark Victorian morning gowns when you say macabre.
Yeah.
Like
how much? How
like those weird hair things that they would braid with like the soldier's hair and make lace out of it and then keep it as a keepsake. Like that's really strange, but also very interesting.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
why
know
it's
about
my favorite
that.
era.
That's a new
You didn't
bit
know
of
about
information
that?
for me.
Oh man, trivia, I love it. So during the Civil War, when soldiers would die, they would cut their hair off and send it back home to their widows, and then the widows would take their hair and weave it into like these little pieces of lace that they would
Huh.
either put under a little dome and keep in a parlor or their bedroom, and some people would carry them with them
Huh.
during like the mourning period,
It's interesting.
which was like years long.
Right.
Like people are like, oh, it's been 6 weeks, get over it. It's like, y'all could not survive the Victorian era. You'd be mourning somebody for 5 years, wearing black every day, not talking to anybody, no activities.
Carrying
'Cause you're
around hair
mourning.
braids in your pockets.
Carrying around your dead husband's hair lace in your pocket.
See, I think eventually your all's event, like Babes of Metal 10, you all will be summoning up the devil during your.
That would
I
be
mean,
nice.
You know,
is
we
it-
could try, but he's busy.
Yeah, I mean, I've already.
No, for you all? Do you think he'd be too busy for you all?
I don't know. Maybe Babes of Metal 10.
I mean,
I don't know if we can get a real Satan summoning.
yeah, and if I'm.
Well, it
Not
doesn't need to be
yet.
Satan, or does it just need to be a.
Well, what if it's a shitty demon? What if it's one of the stupid demons nobody wants to hang out with,
Are you
like a
gonna be
shit
picky?
demon?
A demon?
I don't know if
You
you've
just
ever
not
seen
settle for
Dogma.
a demon?
Have you ever seen the movie Dogma?
The Golgotha?
Shit, yes, the shit demon. We're not
Yeah,
trying to
that's
summon
okay,
that.
fair
That's
enough,
not
fair enough.
sexy. Not I mean, it's sexy to somebody, but not us.
Yeah.
And I mean,
No
if
shit,
I'm
demons.
putting my nerd glasses on, it's like I don't believe in God, so therefore I don't believe in the devil either. But
'Cause I
you know,
remember
you
saying
never
that.
know.
Yeah.
You never know.
'Cause you
I've
don't.
already no aliens. Hell no. I've already got my song picked up for next year though. It's called
Yeah.
"Demons Are a Girl's Best Friend" instead of diamonds.
Ah,
I was like,
that's
I found it
Is
after.
there really a song?
Can
then?
it be
Yeah, it's
all
by-
black diamonds?
Who's by?
It's by Powerwolf, which are kind of this you all would
Well,
probably
what
like
genre
them.
of
They're
music is
Okay.
this?
Power metal.
Power-
It's
that
almost
the
video
same
game
as-
sounding.
Is that different than
There's-
speed metal? I know
there's
there's
so many
speed.
kinds.
How
Speed
many-
speed is fast. Power metal is almost like it's a lot of like high pitched guitars. It almost sounds like video. It almost sounds like a lot of very epic vocalizations. So it sounds like video game music to me. But
Now I have to admit,
Like,
is
I'm
it-
trying to picture video game music because I don't play video games.
how many like the bands that you got here? They're all would fall under that.
Volcandra. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what form of metal. They're just kind of your typical metal band. Ulm is like an instrumental,
They sound like movie soundtrack music.
but in a fun way.
In a good way, but like Braveheart, where it's all bah, 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 epic sounding.
Yeah.
And then the Blind Scryer is a little. It's doom metal. It's a little more sludgy and slow.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah.
have to admit, I do not make my rounds out to see these types of bands. Not that I can't appreciate talent. That's not that. It's not my go-to. But
Sames.
what's that?
I mean, I know I'm performing in a Babes of Metal show because I do have an appreciation for it. A lot of friends in metal bands, but it is not exactly my first music choice. I like pop music.
Well, where
Like-
I'm going with this is how is this like this kind of music? Is this more of that underground kind of thing, or like playing at Mag Bar, or you know? that kind of,
No, I would say-
I don't know. Or whatever.
Yeah, it's all of the music that we have is probably on the Magbar. Why are you kicking me?
Probably.
It's probably on the jukebox, like especially the hair, like because she's doing Van Halen,
Yeah.
and
Van Halen.
Yeah.
hair metal.
hair metal.
Well, you did say that. You're right. Okay.
We're not discriminating
I
against
get
any
it
kind of
now. I
metals.
stand corrected.
So there's like she's got the Anagnoris this one, and that's a lot more screamy,
Yes,
scary metal.
Very heavy, very technical.
And then another girl's using Electric Wizard, which is basically stoner metal. And then
I'm using Pussifer, which is like skeezy sex metal.
there's
Say
one
it again.
person.
Wait a minute. You're using what?
Pussifer? You don't know about Pussifer?
No, I don't.
You need to find out.
Chat me up on that. What's that?
It's a band. I'm trying to think of who. It's a.
It's Maynard's band. Isn't
Yes,
it?
it's one of Maynard's bands. It's like a side project that he does, and it's just like this real kind of skeezy. I don't know, like skeezy, slinky metal. I guess I don't know.
Sultry metal?
Sultry metal.
Sultry metal.
Yeah, it's like
That
sex.
sounds-
It's sex
yeah.
music
In a
Metal
metal,
you like to
way.
bang
in a metal to bang to.
That I would like to check.
I want to release like a now music, except
what-
it'll be metal to bang to.
Yes.
metal to bang.
Volume
What I like
34.
about that band is I can understand what they're saying.
You can understand.
Yeah. See, I will.
I have less of an appreciation if I can't understand what you're saying.
And I would agree. Like even in like my appreciation for metal, I like mostly classic metal, hair metal, and some of the new stuff. If it sounds like you're vomiting into a microphone, that's not for me.
Oh, I love it.
I can't.
Dude.
Not-
I do.
Well, see, to be honest, with that music or that type of music, I'm not so much into the vocal. I'm into that sound. You
You'd
know,
probably like Own because they're instrumental.
Yeah.
yeah.
They're really good. That's one of my favorite things about that band is that they don't have a vocalist.
Mm.
And a lot of times that'll
I like
kill
that.
it for me with local bands. I'll
Really?
be like, man, they're really good, and then their singer starts singing, and I
Oh, I
was
see
like,
what you're saying, yeah.
bad decision,
Oh, yeah,
guys.
they
You
should.
should have auditioned some more people.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
personal opinion.
But they're talented enough to where like they get by perfectly well without
Oh,
having a
they
vocalist.
don't need a
Yeah,
vocalist.
not
Oh,
at
yeah.
all.
They have
Still entertaining.
Cooper sings with them on occasion, and it'll be like
Cooper is in.
my husband
Yeah,
Cooper.
yeah.
He sings with them sometimes. If they do, like they did a cover of "Cry Little Sister" that was really great, and then
Lost Boys.
yeah,
Badass
yeah.
movie. My favorite teen vampire kind of
It's
thing.
way better than Twilight.
Way
these
better.
Twilight kids need to get on some Lost
I
Boys
actually
train.
watched that the other night. That was good. Not Twilight.
I was like,
I was about to say, I'm like, oh,
Wait a second.
I think we're done.
That's it. No.
Mom's gonna be pissed.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's a movie that I can recite basically the whole movie.
Word for word.
How many gigs or events you doing a year now?
Aiming for like 4.
Or like every 3 month kind
They
of
take
thing.
a while to put together
Yeah.
and make sure that it's
So-
not.
Right.
you
So I
know,
guess
like-
we're Babes of Metal is 4, and we've been asked. Sorry, we've been asked to do a winter show at Butchertown Social, but part of me wants that's around my birthday, and I'm like Christmas and holidays, and
That's
I'm
a tough-
undecided.
that's a tough
I'm
time.
undecided. Like Bree, who's the bar manager over there, she really wants us to do a winter
And that's
show.
only women. That's not even 2 months. Really, 2 months away.
Right,
Yeah.
and that's it's like I'm going to talk to her and see
Man, that's
if maybe like I'm fine.
Today
Like
is
October
today is
1st.
First, yeah, and it's still fucking 90 some degrees.
And I could not be happier about
Really?
it.
Ugh.
I hate the winter months.
No, I'm a hoodie
Hate it.
guy. I want to wear a
No.
hoodie.
I want to not have
I
to
know
wear
you all want to
shoes.
just hang out.
Look, I
you
am
know,
a hillbilly
figuratively.
at heart.
Are you?
Yeah, and like I want to not have to wear shoes. I need to be barefoot all the time.
I don't like wearing socks, and winter requires you to wear socks.
Yeah, that too. Like
So
my
you all,
toes are
you
all
all,
Foot
are,
prisons.
you all are
Foot
into the
prisons.
summer thing, right?
Yes, like I would rather
The
walk
hot-
outside
hot and
like
humid.
immediately sweat than have to put a coat on.
I will say I like performing in venues more in the winter
Yes.
just because you get sweaty as fuck.
Look, all my
And everything
costumes
sticks.
have like 15 layers, and it can't be like wispy fabrics. No, it's like real heavy brocade and velvet.
Is everybody making their
in
own
July.
costumes?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Other than the sheep pajamas, I bought those.
Sometimes you just have to buy sheep pajamas.
I was like, it's fine. It's fine.
Where do you find
okay.
your creativity or your inspiration to make your stuff? Is
It
I
depends
guess
on what I'm making.
well,
Like I have the costume I'm using for my number it was a vampire costume, and I've kind of reworked it into other costumes.
well, I'm curious.
but-
Does your costume dictate your act,
It
or does your
depends.
act dictate your?
It depends. Sometimes you find a song that you really like, and you're like, oh, I can picture everything in my head. So then you make a costume for that.
Gotcha.
Other times, you're like, well, I already have this costume, and I spent about $400 on making it, so I'm going to use it again. Like the costume.
But
I'm
what's the
using-
norm? Which
Usually,
way?
It's 50-50.
it, yeah,
I
it,
think.
it really
Yeah.
just depends on what the show is,
Yeah.
and honestly, if you can recycle things,
Sure,
you try
yeah,
to
yeah.
because we don't buy cheap stuff.
Right, yeah.
So when you have to replace pieces, you're like, all right, well that's $250 because I'm going to have to restone it and put the trim on it again and all the things. So
But
you-
if I do it 2 gigs, then it's only $125. Yeah,
exactly, you're like, how
yeah,
many
yeah.
times do I need to use this to make my money back?
And then you can deviate with it, or
Right.
yeah,
And then
Right.
other times I'll be like, I want to make a Maynard costume, and I will have no song in mind or any particular performance for it. I'll just make a Maynard
Yeah.
costume.
I mean, the she-wolf costume that I'm using, I'm revamping it a little bit, but that's the one I used in the first show.
yeah.
Because I did Killer Wolf by Danzig. It's fun.
Recycling is cool, guys.
So
And fake fur is expensive.
it is.
And it's hot.
So
I have to take your word
I
for it.
have to tell you this. So when I made that black cat costume for the Nerdless thing I'm doing in November, it was $23 to buy the white fabric or the white fur by the yard. It was $16 to buy a white fur rug.
I would have bought the rug.
I bought a rug.
Heck
And then I
yes.
cut it up.
That's called being resourceful.
Right.
That's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes
And
I
it was-
buy-
wait a minute.
it was
Wait
more
a
than
minute,
a
hold-
yard, too.
Did I just
Yeah.
did I just confirm something here?
that were cheap, yes.
Looks and brains?
Yes,
you
that's
all are
exact-
double threat kind of.
This
chicks.
is what you have to look forward to at the Babes of Metal show, guys.
I have a master's degree.
She has a master's degree.
Hot for teacher, huh?
So smart.
God, I've heard that so many
Hot.
fucking
Have you?
times.
No, I'm sorry. If it's,
Hot,
it's a
brainy
lame-
goth
lame
girlfriend.
Big titty goth girl.
Big titty goth girlfriend.
Yeah.
I'm so not not goth looking right now.
So I got funny. This is off the show thing, but
No.
I've
Speak
been
freely.
No, I've been.
I don't think we've done any of that in
No,
this.
we've done enough. I think, remember the last time you were on, I think, didn't we like,
We talked
Go.
for like an hour and a half.
yeah, I mean, we were just, it was,
Tangents.
yeah, so
Tangents.
it's all good.
But
Speak
yeah,
freely.
so I started seeing someone in Lexington, and the last time I went down, he's like, "Oh, my mom's coming over." I'm like,
Whoa.
"Whoa,
Slow down.
And he was like, I just forgot she was coming. She's bringing me food. And I'm like, okay. But like when she came over, he was like, yeah, she's got a master's degree and she's doing. I was like, what is this?
Stop talking me up to your mom.
But the best thing about his mom, like, cause she was dressed like fucking Peggy Hill. Like she had culottes on. She was a really nice lady.
But
But
she like, oh, I brought you some mashed potatoes and meatloaf.
well, she's from
Oh well,
Versailles,
I
Versailles.
can't help it. I can't help
wherever.
it. Everyone talks like that.
Oh, I know, it's fine. If they're a mom or an aunt, they talk like
If they're
that.
a mom, they talk like that.
But yeah, she had like a sensible outfit on, but then I kept looking at her. I was like, she has a fucking tongue ring. She has a fucking tongue ring. And like, it's
she's
like,
a low key freak.
yeah, and it's like she just
Oh,
went
okay.
vegan, and she's like lecturing him on going vegan. And it's like she's found out I was a vegetarian and trying to get me on board. It was really awkward. But like as soon as she walked out the door, I looked at Sid and I was like, does your mom have a fucking tongue ring? He's like, yeah. I was like, when did she get that? Oh, like 2 years ago.
Are you
She's
still
living
with
on
this
the
guy?
edge.
You still with this guy?
I mean, it's still a very new
new.
thing.
It's fresh.
So, but he lives in you said
Yeah, he played. I met him because he plays in a metal band as well.
I'd expect
And I kind of
nothing
like
different.
that he lives there
Away.
because my last relationship ended in a fucking shit show, and I kind of like the distance.
It was kind of shit show adjacent.
Yeah.
Care to elaborate? To me, it's all about a
All I'm
soundbite.
gonna say is it was
Just tell me he
two and a
didn't-
half years.
Tell me he didn't hurt you.
Not physically,
Not
no.
physically.
Yeah.
no.
Okay. So.
No, he toyed with my emotions a lot there at the end, and then left me for someone a decade younger than me. Cool.
Sometimes people are assholes.
It's fine. I saw them out the other night. He tried to wave at me. I just walked right past him.
Don't.
I'm probably mutual friends are going to hear this, and I'm going to feel real bad.
She's not hotter than you,
Whatever.
right?
I don't know. She's skinny.
Ugh.
She likes Taylor Swift.
And that's all you had to say right there.
Yeah.
She likes metal and Taylor Swift.
Metal?
I don't know. That's all
That
I'm going to
makes
say
me
about
wonder
that.
if there's like a Taylor Swift tribute metal band.
No, I did actually.
I feel
funny
like
said
that's
that
probably a thing
I
somewhere.
saw on
That's a
on
very
YouTube the
unfortunate
other
thing.
night one of those random videos pop up where Taylor Swift. Well, there was some, I guess, on CMT. What was that? Right Country CMT. Mm-hmm. There was like they do a I don't know what's called. It's a cross between country and like
Like a mashup.
yeah, and she did a full set with Def Leppard, which actually was it was actually kind of cool.
I hate Taylor Swift so much, though.
I
that's
And it
have
was
a
before
love-hate
this issue.
relationship with Taylor Swift.
Whenever
what?
shit
Say it
guilty.
again.
I have a love-hate relationship with Taylor Swift.
Because her music, that is.
I don't
Some
loathe
of it,
her,
yeah,
but
I don't hate her guts. I feel like she's a stupid early 20-something. Like
Right.
that's just you're
Well,
dumb
she's
and
older than
young.
that now, right?
Now, yeah.
Okay.
See,
yeah.
like
I feel the same way about Miley Cyrus. I'm like, yeah, just let them be 23 and wear their booty shorts, okay? Like that's what every 23-year-old does, and you're trying to make them Disney people.
Aren't they like in their
Still.
late 20s?
They are now.
Yeah, because
Miley
yeah.
Cyrus is married now and stuff. I
Well,
think.
she's married,
No,
divorced,
she's
and now
divorced.
dating a woman.
Well,
Oh, I didn't
think
realize
that's
that.
off now. But
Oh,
the
well,
woman
maybe
thing,
it
yeah,
is.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
it is.
It was Hemsworth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
of 'em.
for Miley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
See, I think
Why do we know
and I
that?
should not know. That.
Why do we know that?
My-
She was married to Liam Hemsworth, and then they
Yeah,
got divorced.
Well, it was
and
Chris.
then she was
I think it was Chris, right?
no Liam Hemsworth. Is
You sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Look it up. Well, no, I'll look it up.
Google it. Google know everything.
Keep
okay?
talking. I'll
See,
yeah.
Look it up. I'm pretty sure it was Liam Hemsworth.
I'm
That's
not sure.
Hard for me to say.
See, the reason I don't like Taylor Swift is because I was working at a summer camp when the Shake It Off came out, and then there was another one. It was Shake It Off and another one. And they had, on the loudspeaker just around camp, they would play music all day. Just
Always Taylor Swift.
I don't know how many fucking times in a day I had to hear Shake It Off, and I fucking hate it. Like, at first it was
now,
kind of catchy,
murderous
but
rage.
it got to the point where it's like, if it comes on one more time today,
Were you getting the eye twitch
I
thing when
was.
it would come on?
I was. I was getting.
Leo, you're right.
That's when Party Rock. That's when Party Rockers came out
Test me
too, and I
on that.
hated that song.
I work
too.
in a salon,
don't
sir.
know
I
what
know
Party
about
Rockers
the
are.
Hollywood gossip.
Okay, I get it.
Tonight.
That's what they say there?
What is it? What?
The
What
Party
was it?
Rockers song that came out that summer, and I hated that too.
What was
I've-
the song?
Party Rockers.
Party rockers in the house tonight.
I have never known that's what the lyrics
Everybody's
were.
gonna have a good time.
I knew that part. I was always just like,
I like that song. I like pop music. Not ashamed.
And then there's that
Well,
part.
I'm-
Beep, bop, bop, boop.
Anywho,
Anywho, what else is going on with you all? Personally, give me something
I
juicy
mean-
to talk. Give me a TMZ soundbite.
Man, what's a good one?
I'm
Now,
I-
can I ask
I'm
you?
still
Aren't you
trying
like
to-
you and your husband are back?
Yeah, we got back together, which
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I got.
Am I allowed to bring that up?
I mean, I guess so.
Okay.
Well, we were
Too
married
late
for a long
anyways.
time. Yeah, you already brought it up, so it's a little too late now.
right.
We were married for a long time, and then we split up for about 6 months, and
Because I think
decided we didn't like that very much.
because I think when you were on, I think that was during the split, maybe.
Yeah, we were still
Yeah.
split up last time
Yeah.
I was on
Yeah.
here. Well, and that's the thing. It's like we never hated each other. We still hung out.
So is this a
sometimes.
Disney story or Hallmark? You're gonna
We
live
should write
happily
a
ever
fucking
year.
book, man.
Is it?
We should just write a book. If you, I'm pretty sure we've been through like every relationship thing now,
Every
other than actually getting divorced.
Level.
Like we never
Okay.
actually got divorced.
Did y'all have kids?
We have one kid.
together.
He's pretty cool. He's 8.
Okay.
He has blue hair.
Blue hair.
I just touched his hair up yesterday, actually, and he picked out a color called Neverland, which was basically exactly the same color that it already was.
And what color is that?
It's like a mint green.
Okay.
Like his green hair had faded out to like a mint green.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, but I like my hair the way it is, Mom. I'm like, we don't have to do anything. Like, I was just going to do it because you're here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not because I had to take him to work with me because of fall break. I'm not paying a babysitter for 2 hours. That's stupid. And he needed his hair done. But he picked out this color that was basically mint green, like his faded out hair color. But he was super thrilled about it. And that was nice.
There you go.
Well, we've
But-
heard your love life, your marriage story.
Yeah.
Oh, my love life?
Give me give me something juicy with
Oh,
you.
wow.
Oh, well, when it comes to my love life, I have not been in a serious committed relationship in a decade, so there's not
Yeah,
really
no.
much to tell.
Oh, you got me.
has
You got me.
no
Really? Has it been a
stories.
decade?
Since someone was like my real official, like we are dating and we are looking in the future.
I'm at
kind of
5
thing.
years, so
Yeah.
So really, has it been a decade?
It was on my. I think the last guy I dated, I was 20 years old, and I'm 29, so I guess technically it's
Okay,
like.
but still.
Close
Yeah.
enough.
But that's kind of odd because you're in your 20s, where all you all
Personal
want.
choice.
Yeah.
Well, I get it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I get around a lot.
That's
Said
yeah.
committed
I
relationship.
Yeah.
got that. I'm just saying that with you're not one that every other month your Facebook
Oh,
says
no.
in a relationship with.
Oh,
in a
no.
relationship
No.
with.
I don't know if my Facebook
I'm
has
calling
ever
out-
said that.
I'm
certain
pretty sure
people.
it has
That-
never
good
said
God.
that.
Not
Yeah.
as long as I've known you.
Jesus
No.
Christ, that's
I've known you since you were 12. You know.
yeah.
You've known like all 2 boyfriends I've ever had.
Yeah.
So
was a long time ago.
Why not? Why are you not in a? I mean, what's the? Are
I'm
you?
not very friendly in real life. I'm really friendly, like on stage and like with people. Like,
You're
People
selectively
you like,
social.
yeah.
there you go. That's better.
You're selectively social because the people
that I
that
can
you
relate
like,
to. That I
Oh,
can
you
relate.
really
Yeah.
like, and
Yeah.
you genuinely
Absolutely.
enjoy
Yeah.
spending
and
time
I
with
do
them
my best to
until
do
you
everything
don't
I
want
can
to.
for them.
Guilty.
but-
I'm right
but
there with
you
you.
gotta get there.
Well,
first.
you're also one of those people where you're like, I don't want to people today, and you'll just not call anyone,
Oh,
not
I
text
won't.
anyone,
I
not
won't
leave
people
your
for
house.
weeks.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I'll just hang
And
out
she's
in my
totally
room,
fine.
smoke my hookah, and read a book
Be
for
happy
like
as shit.
a whole week, and I'm content.
Same.
she gonna watch
Is-
laser discs.
I intend on
Not
doing
anymore.
that
I
after
had
the
to get rid
show.
of the laser discs.
You what?
What?
Yeah.
Wait,
I'm
wait,
really
say that-
disappointed
wait,
in you,
wait,
Hilary.
I'm told.
They,
What was
they
it?
took up so much space.
I don't care. They were the coolest shit
technically
you had.
video discs. They weren't laser discs because laser discs are only about like this big.
Okay, yeah, they were bigger than that.
Video discs are like this big, and they are basically records.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like right before the VCR came out, there was video discs, and it was not
You're
a
right.
good idea.
Yeah.
It was a
And
terrible
so they
idea.
made about 200 video discs possible, and then
what?
Random
I mean,
shit.
I had
Like
all of them.
movies
at one point.
or
Yeah, they're
just-
movies.
Okay, yeah.
all
Like I had
movies.
the Dark Crystal. I had the Hobbit cartoon. I had a Playboy porno. That was fun.
Playboy.
Yeah. But
I
they
feel like fun
they
should have
took
been
up
in
like half of
quotation
my
marks on
room,
it.
so I had to give them back to
They
Zach.
did. They did take up half your room. I will give you that.
Like I literally had
they
to
were not-
climb on them to get to my closet.
They're not making those anymore.
Oh, they made them for less than a year. That's why
Yeah, I
there's
was
only
gonna say,
200
that's-
movies.
But
they
those
made.
are collectibles.
no
Only if
they
someone
are-
wants to collect them.
They are worth nothing.
Just because they're rare doesn't
Yeah.
make them
Okay.
They
valuable.
weren't a good
Yeah.
idea, so
No.
Okay.
Right.
Rare does
I
not
think
equal
that I-
valuable.
right.
I think they're kind of cool. Though.
Oh, they're super
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
They just take up too much goddamn space.
They're just not a viable form of technology, and people
Yeah.
don't give a shit.
And now you can watch movies on your phone.
Right.
Any movie.
Any movie.
Or streaming, just on the thing.
Uh-huh.
You just click it.
I guess.
You
yeah.
can. I sat on a plane and watched. Oh, I, Tanya. If y'all haven't seen that movie,
That movie's amazing.
that movie's so funny. I'm like, these people were
I,
really
Tanya.
this stupid.
What is that about?
It's
Did-
okay.
Didn't we
This
try
is
to
about-
watch it one night? I think you fell asleep.
Well,
Probably.
that says all right. So you're
Okay.
That can't be good
look,
if you fell asleep.
First of all, I fall asleep during every movie.
Yeah.
Do not use that as a judgment. This movie is all about Tanya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan.
oh, that okay. I
Oh
have
my
heard
God.
that.
incident,
That's it.
yeah.
Oh, the incident. When they showed the actual like interviews with these people, and it was word for word what they said in the movie, and I'm like, oh my God, they were really that stupid.
Especially your mom. Yeah.
Oh God.
But they're not.
They're
They're
so
interviewing
dumb.
the characters, not the
No,
real.
they
oh, they're
showed-
real. It's like a
Like in
documentary
the-
then.
Yeah.
It's a biopic or a
Right.
biopic.
Okay. So
Like,
they're
in the
interviewing
credits-
Tanya and Nancy in an incorporate
not Nancy Kerrigan. They interviewed Tanya Harding, her husband,
Jeff
his-
Galooly. I know the
Yes.
name.
You
And
just
the
got
bodyguard.
Galooly'd.
Yeah.
Yes,
The
and
bodyguard.
they interviewed the bodyguard.
Sean. I think the Sean was
Yes.
the yeah.
And like during the credits, you know how they'll show like clips during the credits. They show clips of like the actual interviews with these people, not the actors, but like the actual people.
Gotcha.
And it's exactly what they say in the movie. And you're like, wow, they were really that dumb. Like they really didn't think anyone would notice.
That
Oh
whole
God,
thing.
it's so funny.
Yeah.
And it kind of covers her background too, because she had a pretty
She
fucked
had a
up childhood.
terrible childhood.
I actually kind
Terrible,
of
terrible
felt sorry because he completely.
She was one of those it's not my fault people.
Yeah.
Like nothing was ever her fault,
Okay.
even when it was blindingly obviously her fault. But so I sort of feel bad for her because her mother was a horrible, horrible person. And her dad wasn't much better. But
Yeah, he left
at
when
the
she was
same
young.
time, she also doesn't take responsibility for anything. So
Wasn't she like banging both him and the bodyguard or something like that?
No.
I think that was a rumor.
threesome
that
kind
was
of
a
thing?
rumor.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you look at the bodyguard, like he is this
Like a
Fat,
slob.
horribly
horrible.
fat and unattractive slob. Like he's and he's stupid. Like he doesn't have
Real
any
stupid.
redeeming qualities. If I had to guess, I would say he probably smells bad.
Probably.
He's
You
kind
know
of a
what I'm
neck beard type.
Neckbeard,
That-
yes.
he
the
probably
Indian.
has,
He had the Peoria.
He probably has
neckbeard.
like a gross pimple on his back too.
He probably does.
Your camera
He
says
probably
low
does.
battery. I don't know if that's relevant.
It says you've been
That's-
working
yeah.
too long,
Yeah,
sir.
it is, yeah.
what
It
that
started
is.
with a full battery, by the way.
Oh.
Wow.
Keep talking as I.
Sorry, my autism kicked in there for a second. No, that was a really good movie. Did you all watch the Lorena Bobbitt docuseries?
No, but I feel like
We're
I
going
should.
from
You should. You would
taking
like it.
out knees to cutting off.
I either taking out body parts left and right, man.
No, I'm a sucker for what is it South Park calls it informative murder porn.
Yes.
I love true crime. So with the Lorena, have you never heard that before?
No, but that's great.
That is
I don't
It's
watch a
what
lot
it
of.
is.
I don't watch a lot of South Park.
I
don't watch
love true crime stuff, but like the Lorena Bobbitt series was like because everyone made her out to be such a monster, but come to find out like he was
he was
super
horribly
abusive and constantly cheating on her and all kinds of stuff.
I thought I always, based on the story I heard, I always sided with her because
Yeah,
it
because he
sounded
was like a
big
horribly
dick.
abusive asshole that cheated on her all the time. Gee, I wonder why she wanted to cut his dick off. I don't know. That's weird.
I'm totally oblivious.
Did she
to
go
this-
to jail for
this
that?
Topic. I don't.
You don't know
who-
about Lorena Bobbitt?
I don't know.
She cut her husband's dick off and then threw it in the field out of the car window, so he couldn't have it back.
But did she?
They found it though
Yeah, they
and tried
did.
to reattach it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it
Did
went
she,
well.
did she actually go to jail for that?
I'm pretty sure she went to jail
Really?
for a little
No,
bit.
I don't think
No?
so.
No?
It was a long because it was one
the
of the
trial
first.
just really long.
It was a really long trial, and it was the first trial to ever let news cameras in the courtroom.
Wow.
See, I didn't know
Okay.
that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so
Like,
it was
I
highly
remember
it was
it.
highly publicized, and I think it ended up being like a mistrial or something like that, just because of all the crap that was circling around it, and it really stressed her out.
Could you imagine?
But
seriously,
her husband, John, he went on to make a porn.
he did. I remember
did.
hearing that.
Wow.
He just recently did an interview with some.
I would
of
have
He,
to be
he
like,
milks that celebrity stuff.
Yeah,
Like he does
he
Vegas
does.
shit and porn and who knows.
There's, like,
I would
Frank
have to
and
ask him
Dennis?
some serious questions.
I've never
like,
tried to
You
find
want to
it.
look? You do.
Well, hell yeah, I want to look like I go.
Have
Do
you
you
all-
have a
ha-
weird scar around it?
Is
it
there
like
not
a
any
circumcision
videos or
scar?
anything?
Or is it like a weird
Well,
at the
I'm
base
at.
scar?
Is there any videos or anything?
Did
out
you
there?
I mean, if there's
lose
a
There's got to be
porn,
something out
I mean,
there.
pull up Pornhub on your computer. Let's find it.
Oh. You know what okay, so speaking of Pornhub, I found out recently, because like when I pull up Pornhub recently, I'm like, what's with all this stepsister shit?
Yeah,
like,
it's
what's-
weird.
That's.
You know, I found out what that's about.
Please tell me because
Okay.
I choose not to look at
Right?
those.
And
I
it's
do.
like, why is everything somebody's stepmom or stepsister or blah, blah, blah?
I was just
So-
only like
But I
half
try-
serious.
yeah.
So I found out recently that the ones that like automatically pop up are the most commonly searched topics in your area. And I'm like, look,
area?
y'all need to get it together and leave your step siblings alone.
So-
they are not there for your entertainment like
Yeah.
that.
We've
So
done
weird.
nothing.
So in
but
this
we've
area,
done nothing
incest
but,
is best.
justified the stereotype of our.
That's exactly what it's just.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
If you want to know
Kentucky, we're
if
in
Kentucky
Kentucky.
hillbillies look up incest porn, the answer is yes, but they think it's okay because they said stepsister.
Yeah, they do. Step.
We ain't
Right.
blood.
Yeah.
Third
we were just
cousin.
raised together.
I don't
And
know.
it's like, whoa, guys.
Yeah, I don't get on board with that, and I'm
No.
also I got called a kink shamer for this, but I don't.
Wait a minute. You got called what?
A kink shamer
Kink shamer.
Kink
because
shamer?
I
You're like, ew, you like being spanked? That's gross.
right, like I don't find the calling your partner daddy thing very fun or attractive because I have a good relationship with my father.
Right. I have a great relationship with my dad, so no thank you.
So,
That's-
like, I posted something on Facebook about it, and it blew up. I wasn't expecting. I got called it. Like, there was one girl who flipped out, and she ended up blocking me and called me a kink shamer. I was like, no, I'm not saying you can't
You
do
can
it.
do it.
I'm
That's
not
fine.
saying you're a bad person. I just think it's gross. And like most of the guys posting out, like some of them had kids. It's like, yeah, the only person I want to call me daddy is my daughter or whatever. Like
Right.
that. I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. I just think it's foul.
it's just not for me.
Yeah.
I did have one really slick man call me mama one time, and it totally worked for him. Like,
Totally worked.
You're like, okay.
In what
was
way?
like-
How did it work?
he was just like, "Hey, mama, what's going on?" And I was like, "Oh,
Hold on, wait a second.
What?
What is going on?
like I don't know
How do
why
I feel
I'm
about
weirdly
this?
attracted to this." But no, that was the only time it ever was okay. I think it had something to do with his like suaveness.
I don't think
It's
I've
Rico
ever.
Suave.
I've never
Svelte.
called someone mama, unless it was my mama. I've never-
Right.
I've been
That's
called
not-
Lil Mom.
I don't even call my
Lil' Mom.
No, I take it back. I might have called her like
I
my
call your mom Beth
ex-wife
Dunn.
kind of
Yeah.
thing, my ex-wife, but not someone I'm chatting it up with.
No.
Mama.
No.
No, it
I
was
don't.
super
I don't know
random.
if those. I don't know if I've ever used the name Mama for anything other than. Hold on, I take that back. Mama Cat, who was just a cat that had a lot of kittens.
Yeah, I'm gonna go here with this. Now, you all have a very, all three of you have a very distinctive look, especially when you're dressed up.
Or
you know,
not.
no. And you put your
Is
stuff.
distinctive a really nice word for saying weird?
Yeah, yeah. Distinctive.
I'm into your all's. I know you all, so I
So
kinda,
you're slightly jaded.
No, I just I'm not one of these guys that if you go and they come across you on Facebook and they see you dressing provocative and all this shit, that you
Apparently, I'm very intimidating. I've been told.
Really?
I've
Yeah.
been told
Like-
that too. But
Well,
I'm super nice.
Well, here, that's where I kind of go with.
'Cause we look like
what-
scary
what
bitches.
what kind of dialogue or conversations do you get with these?
Oh God.
Well, I
dudes,
can talk
man?
about my recent venture.
All right, please. Listen. keep in
And
mind my
the weird-
battery life is dwindling,
Sorry.
but
Well-
help me. I gotta hear.
No,
this.
I started a premium Snapchat, and
Is there such a? I'm not on. Snapchat.
Oh yes, there's a premium
Really?
Snapchat.
I made like $1,000 in 4 days. But like, that was the initial thing. It's slowed down a bit now, but
That makes
like,
me want to get a premium Snapchat.
it's fucking lucrative, man.
I'm already
and I
on
don't
it.
do. I was like, oh, here's
Damn
here's
it, I got to get on the game. with
here's
this.
my boobs. But
So that like you're.
that's kind of like the kind of things that I get approached there. It's like, I mean, the provocativeness. Like, there's guys here and they're like, oh, you're pretty. I thought I would talk to you, and usually it's really lame lines, and I just don't respond, and it's fine, and I can handle it. But like, I've had some issues on the premium Snapchat, which is to be expected. Like,
How so?
thinking this is a way of getting an in with trying to date me.
Right.
I was like,
No.
this is a business transaction.
100% no.
Isn't that kind of what the Patreon is too?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
OnlyFans. There's a lot of websites like that.
Yeah, OnlyFans. Are you? I say this with all due respect. Isn't that like something you would pursue?
What?
You would do. You would
What?
like
What would do?
to put yourself out there on these.
I mean, I was a suicide girl when I was 18.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
She done been there, honey. She
Yeah.
done.
Yeah,
did
I mean,
that.
I don't do it as publicly now
Well,
because
no.
of
My
my job.
point is that you have this look. You definitely could, and I'm trying to word this in the right way that doesn't sound disrespectful because that's not the
No,
case
I
at all.
mean-
I'm saying you've got a look that you could
Sell.
sell.
Yeah,
That's the
but
best
I
way.
mean, that's fine. Like, a lot of what I do is very cheeky and
Silly.
fun. Like, I would never want to, and nothing against sex workers or people who make that choice, but I know I'd never want to do porn.
Well, no, I'm not going porn. I'm not saying. I'm just saying just because aren't those a lot of those just. I don't know what those are, but
I mean,
yeah.
a lot of it, the stuff I do is fetish because I have
Tiny
tiny,
baby.
freakishly tiny feet,
Baby feet.
and
I didn't know. Now I got to look.
Look. Put the shoes on. Take the shoes off.
It's
Put
hard.
on lotion. Put the shoes on. Take the shoes off. Put on lotion. She could make $1,000 just doing that.
Okay,
in a
Right.
that's
day.
kind of where I'm going with. It doesn't have to be, porn.
that's
No.
most honestly that is most of what I do.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
so it sounds tawdry when I say I do a premium Snapchat, but a lot of it is foot fetish stuff. Like, I remember when I broke my ankle earlier this year. Yeah, like very beginning of the year, and I had a guy pay me $40 to take a video of my leg in a cast and just talk about what happened and how hard it is for me to get around. $40. It was a 5-minute video. I didn't show my face. I wasn't naked. He wanted to see my cast, or my boot rather. So
There are those
People are
out there.
strange.
Yeah.
I had a guy ask me to videotape myself shitting though the other day. I was like, no,
Nope, that's too much.
No.
that's personal. That's private.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
curious though. What could possibly be a dollar amount associated with that?
He offered 75, and that was
That's
a little
definitely
too
not
low.
enough.
Not enough.
What was there? Would there have been a number that he could
it
have
would
thrown
have
at?
to be in the 3 or 4 digit range.
At
least.
for like that.
As in thousand, you're saying?
Yeah, at
Okay.
least. At least. Like
Okay.
that's
Very personal for me.
yeah, no thank you. No thank you. However, I will send you a video of my cat shitting if that would do anything for you.
And then there's something called cake farts. If Leanne wants to explain it.
Oh, the cake farts, man. That not something I've done personally. But
I think I showed you the
me
video.
and Beth laughed hysterically at a cake farts video. And that's basically where you wear a thong and you sit on a cake and then you fart on it. And it
So
makes this,
literally,
like,
and rub
it
it
is
in.
exactly what
literally-
you're saying
yes,
it is.
there is no like, ooh, I wonder what that. No, it is exactly what
It
you think
sounds
it
like.
is.
And she
And,
also did
like,
meatloaf and pudding. And
Yes,
stuff.
various food items
Why
that
is
she
that
would
more
sit
gross?
in and then
Meatloaf is
fart
pretty
on.
gross.
And it's
The
like,
meatloaf
what
sounds
the,
terrible.
what the hell is this? Like, why? How did this start?
But you couldn't-
Why are people doing this?
But you
Who
couldn't
was the
look away.
first? You you have to watch it, and you're just like you're almost peeing your pants because you're laughing so hard, and you're like, this is getting someone off, and that is part of what makes it so funny. And it is like the loudest farts I've ever heard in my life. And I don't know if it's because like she had Mexican for lunch or if it's because of the icing on the cake.
Yeah,
but
it made
is,
it
like robust.
It was the icing or the pudding. It had kind of a floppy wet
Yes,
sound.
it was
Okay,
very
I was gonna
moist.
say the cake seems like it would muffle the sound.
I would have thought
You
that,
know,
yeah.
one would think, but there was
Yeah.
some really thick icing on that cake.
Okay.
Chocolate icing, probably not the best choice.
No.
You know,
for
I have to
cake
admit,
farts.
I have not been on any of these fetish sites.
You are missing out, sir.
So there's
There's
Get-
a
get-
lot of weird shit out there.
Oh yeah.
They're so weird. Some of them are so weird. Cake farts is one of the weirdest
But
ones.
what's
So
I guess
really.
Just fart porn in general.
Fart porn in general, yes.
But as equally as weird as that request is, there's someone obliging. that
Right.
request.
Of course
I'm not
there is.
shaming these people.
Oh no!
No.
By all means, fart on that cake, honey. Just make sure you're getting
Getting
paid.
paid, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You get
Jeez.
paid for those cake farts. No farts are for free. None.
And shower, you get a yeast infection.
Yes, please
Yes.
shower directly afterwards. No one needs buttercream up in their business. Buttercream biscuits
Made from scratch.
made from scratch.
Wow.
Oh yeah, you can
This
tell
took
the
a turn.
delirium is
It
starting
did.
to set in.
It took a turn.
Oh man, cake
No,
farts.
no, I'm no. It's the visual. It's running through my head right now.
Oh, it's exactly like you're picturing it.
yeah. I can. Yeah.
She's just like,
And in the pudding, you can see the pudding like move.
well, you know how like pudding gets that weird skin on it. Like, blah, 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 blah. It's bad. It's bad.
All right, ladies, let's bring it home.
Okay.
We're doing a show this weekend.
Yeah.
On Saturday,
Go.
Saturday, Babes of Metal.
There won't be any fart
3.
porn there.
No.
An
Cake
evening of
farts.
macabre
Okay.
music and brutal. I forgot. I didn't even notice that word. Brutal burlesque. Why brutal?
Because it
'Cause
sounds
it's metal.
nice
Because that's a word.
alliteration.
That's a word
Sound.
generally associated with metal.
That's brutal.
We're being edgy.
Okay.
Wearing two sets of horns. How much brutal do I need to be?
Disclaimer at the end of this that no one was hurt during these.
We don't claim
No.
shit.
You know.
I know I have personally rolled an ankle.
Well,
During
it's
shows.
Technically,
I,
that's
I think I stepped on a staple or a thumbtack.
Oh
once. It was
yeah,
something,
we've
yeah.
all, or like you go down and you're like, oh my knee's fucked up, and you're like, gotta go on,
Or I've
and you keep
done-
doing it anyway. You just look kind of half
Right.
lumpy.
that's a good little. I'm curious. During any of your all's performances, what's one injury or time? you
I've got a
hurt?
good one.
Go.
When I was doing a bubble pop at a Vava show,
Wait a minute. Whoa, no.
Bubble
no.
pop covered in bubbles, pop the bubbles
Like balloons.
Oh, okay.
it was a bubble pop, and like I would go out into the audience, and they'd get an opportunity to do it. I had someone completely miss and stab me. I think
remember that.
Leanne remembers.
I remember that.
That sucked.
You were like,
And it was
believe they fucking stabbed me.
I think the lady was drunk, and she just like missed
With
completely.
what? Like a what?
well, first of all, the balloons are like this big.
Yeah.
So how?
But
the
what
fuck
would
are you
she? What
missing
was
it?
she using to stab?
We made poppers. Like
Yeah,
it might
They
like
usually had pins in the end of them, so like if you get stabbed with it, it doesn't feel good.
no. I mean, it's not like a gaping
Break-
wound,
No.
but
broke
it still
your skin,
hurts.
though, right?
It still hurts. Yeah. I mean, you're not going to bleed out or
No.
anything.
But it was like
but-
towards the beginning of it, and I was like going. I had to finish my number with
no.
a. I was like, fuck.
now it hurts.
That or they try to keep my poppers because they're drunk and they think
and you're
the
like, I
suckers for
need
them.
that back.
What
like
about
I
you,
got to use that again later.
Hillary? Injury.
Injuries?
Yeah.
I didn't injure myself on stage. I injured myself while I was drunk on my birthday being a dumbass. But then I had to do a whole show with a hairline fracture in my shin.
Oh shit.
So that
Is that
hurt.
painful? Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought it was a shin splint, so I was just like, just walk it off.
She was
So
young.
you didn't have it taped
No,
or
she should
wrapped
have.
or
Nothing.
nothing.
She
So
should
oh,
have.
shit.
And then I got
yeah.
in an accident years later, and they had to do like a full body X-ray, and they were like, "So what happened to your fucked up leg?" I was like, "Oh, I remember that."
That must
was
have been
drunk.
And
when
so
I broke my leg.
then I learned that it was a hairline fracture, so that was fun.
years later. One time at a Vava dress rehearsal for Vava Vittles, there was a part where I had to do a cartwheel in this gigantic, like, when I say gigantic skirt, this thing's like 4 feet wide
Oh,
of
that was like a
crinoline.
big cage skirt and
Yes,
everything.
it was huge, and I had this
beehive wig.
foot tall beehive wig that I would pull like bottles of hot sauce out of and stuff
Or
because I was a
Simpson.
waitress. But I went at dress rehearsal. I was doing the Roger Rabbit like you do, and I hit a crack in the floor and rolled my ankle.
Ow.
Like it popped so loud, and I was like, if I just broke my ankle doing the Roger Rabbit in this fucking
Doing
can
the
skirt
Roger Rabbit.
with a beehive wig on, I'm gonna be so pissed.
Great
I didn't,
story.
It's a good story.
I didn't break it or anything, but I had to wear tennis shoes for the show because I couldn't wear my heels, and I was really pissed because they were really cute shoes. But then I had like white Keds with big giant ribbon bows to go with my giant
You still
beehive.
look good.
I pulled a can of peaches
Here you
out.
There's some ranch
Of-
dressing. Yeah.
That I pulled out of my crotch from the
That's
Hidden
right.
Valley.
The Hidden Valley Ranch. Yeah.
And then
From the
that was,
Hidden
that was my
Valley.
dad's favorite joke in the whole show. My
oh,
dad
that makes me happy.
Love that.
No, the can of peaches was they ain't fresh, but I got great cans. So
Da-da-da.
That was probably one of my favorite shows that we did.
it was one of my favorite shows. I got
that's
to
a fun
be
one.
Jolene the waitress.
That was a good one. I had
Oh,
some
Good
man.
stories here. I like how we took a total turn.
Yeah.
But that's what.
Isn't that
That's
what it
what
always
makes-
happens?
But this is what.
That's what makes
Yeah.
life spicy.
well,
right.
this is what makes
Frank's Red Hot.
conversation interesting.
Sriracha.
All right,
Or
October
the hot
5th.
sauce we always steal from Qdoba.
Still.
We steal the whole bottle.
Look,
Cholula.
I will look for the unopened bottle of Cholula at the Qdoba.
Can we sit at that table?
And then they put them all on the side with the forks, and I'll just be like, "Oh, it fell in my
Oh,
purse
yeah.
with my carry-out order."
'Cause
And then I take it with me.
We frequent the Qdoba.
Yes, and the Cholula.
They have the Impossible meat now. It's really good.
Okay, I saw a thing the other day, and I haven't fact
Sorry, I
checked.
know you're trying to wrap it
I
up.
haven't fact checked this, but it makes sense to me that Soylent Green was set in 2020, and now the Impossible Burger shows up. Soylent Green was people, y'all. I'm just saying.
I'm not. I'm
haven't-
not going to say I
have
wouldn't
not-
try
I haven't look.
human meat.
We have discussed cannibalism before, and you know that I am just hoping that somebody will just will me their thigh so I can make it into a roast and taste it. I don't want to kill someone to
Kind
get
of
it,
interesting text.
but I would like if someone can just be like, when I kick it, if I'm not on a bunch of like cancer drugs, can Leanne have my leg to eat? And I would.
Just like when I get
I'm
older.
pretty sure it's gonna taste like pork.
right. That's what I think I've read that. That's closest resemblance.
When I got my arm branded, it smelled like bacon, and I'm like, if that's what people taste like, I'm down. Like I understand you, soccer
See, I would
players
do-
in the Andes Mountains.
See, I would do that, and then
Donner Party.
if I like knew I was going to die, I'd probably try heroin.
Hell yes,
Oh, that's-
give me
that's
every
my
drug.
plan for my
Like,
dad.
hold on, I have 6 months and be blacked out
Right,
for the
because
next
I
6
mean,
months and have a great time.
You smoke weed, but you still pay your bills. Like heroin's so good, people don't pay their rent,
Right,
and they end
like-
up homeless. Like it must,
Yeah, like they
it
will
must
live in a
be
gutter
really
and
good.
be fine with it. It's like, hold on, how good is that drug that you can live in the gutter and be fine with it?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, how out of it are you? Because
Like,
I don't
I've-
know. If I knew I was going to die next week, I would
Yeah.
probably try it.
I've watched a lot of
no, I
intervention.
would definitely try it.
Watched a lot of intervention. They basically say it's like a wave of hot euphoria that comes over your whole body.
That's interesting. Actually, that's
I'm just
That's
saying,
kind of-
if I sounds appetizing.
Yeah.
If I know that like my life is over, like I don't want to do
That
it
would be
before my life is
that
over.
would
'cause
very
that
circumstantial.
will end
so
your
you're
life.
not donating your body to science. You're donating your body to
heroin.
I want to go to the body farm. So I
or
do
the
wanna go to my body's
hibachi grill.
The hibachi grill,
Yeah.
yes. If anyone would like to eat my leg after I die,
Uh,
we'll be having a pig roast.
All right. Sorry.
October 5th, Babes of Metal 3. Beth,
Door-
your baby, right?
That's my baby.
That's
Right.
baby.
That's my brainchild.
Saturday, 9 p.m. to 1 a.m.
Probably won't be that
No,
late,
no.
but that's a rough estimate.
Right.
At 21st Amendment Tavern.
Yes, doors and it's doors that are at 9. Show starts at 9:30. There's VIP tables still available, as well as regular general admission tickets. A little bit cheaper if you get them online through Eventbrite. But obviously, we won't be selling VIP at the door, but we'll be selling general admission. So
But VIP is better, just saying.
you get to sit.
You get to sit, and
Sitting's
you're
nice.
right in the front, so no one can stand in
Well, in
front of
this
you.
case, it's off to the side, but it's still a very good view.
Way better than someone standing in front of you.
Because,
Way better.
yes.
Yeah, I'm kind of short. You feel my pain, and
I
so
do.
do you. I'm way taller than both of you, and
It's-
I'm still short.
It's inevitable that any concert I go to, the tallest person in the fucking audience stands in front of me.
And if it's a sit-down concert, they're always sitting right in front of you.
Like
I
when
imagine the concert she goes to, there's no sitting.
the last
You
one
never
was.
know.
For
You
real?
never know.
It was Iron Maiden. It had seats, but we didn't stand up, or we didn't sit down.
Oh, really?
But the Iron Maiden show before that, like, this guy could have gone fucking anywhere. Like, it was me and a huge group of friends. My dad was there. It was like 12 of us that were there. And this fucking 6'5" motherfucker walks through just right in front of me. And I just looked, I looked
couldn't
at my
see you.
ex, and he was like, "You're right. That does always happen, doesn't it?" And I was like, all right, someone just describe the show to me, please, because I can't fucking see it.
Send me some Snapchats of the
So,
show so
eventually
that
he
I can
moved.
watch it.
Eventually he moved. It was fine.
See, you're nicer than me. I'm like, excuse me, move out of the way, or let me stand in front of you, asshole.
Yeah.
But I also poured a drink on someone the last time I went to Nashville for being a bitch. So it was
I'm-
water. Drinks are too expensive there.
I'm way too passive
She was
for all
sad.
that.
I poured a drink on someone at an Unknown Henson show.
Oh, this was at a Nashville bar.
Country.
It was.
Was it
Oh
country?
my god! It made me want to like stab myself in the ear with a pencil. It was like I cannot take. And
Was
I
it on the main strip?
yes, and like I'm a hillbilly at heart. Like I could handle a lot of honky tonk, but this girl was being a bitch. A
Bitch.
bitch. I poured
Bitch.
water on half of her head, so
Sounded, that was
half of her hair was really
bitch
stringy.
was
and
2 syllables.
bitch.
Bitch.
It is when it's like that. It
Yeah.
is.
Bitch.
It is 2 syllables, and then half her makeup ran down her face. So
See, mine was just there was a
felt
drunk.
very justified in that.
There was just a drunk girl behind me, and I was there with he who shall not be named.
Voldemort. Yes.
Stephen was a Slytherin when he took the test.
You
I
said
d-
you weren't going to name him.
But
God.
I digress. But there's this girl, and I was glad she was having a good time. It was fine, but she kept like elbowing me in the back of the head and neck when she was dancing, and I tolerated. Like every time I'd move, like she would come over, and like she was not just disturbing me; she was disturbing several people. And finally, I got so frustrated, I turned around, and just fucking threw my drink at her. And Steven was like,
Ooh.
because he'd never seen that side of me before. Like I don't. It takes a lot for me to get that
Yes.
mad. And she just looked at me like, "What? I'm just trying to have fun." And then like her friend like tried to start shit with me, but everyone else is like.
See, no one ever tries to start
And,
shit
like,
with me because I
one-
have my head tattooed.
And then one girl was like, "You can come dance by me.
You
It's
know?
fine." Like.
Oh, no, I did see that.
So, and she tried to come up and apologize to me after. It was like, she's like, "I was just trying to have fun." I was like, "I was just trying not to get a concussion." So,
so was I, and you were inhibiting that.
so
Oh, girls.
I'm not usually catty. I'm very nice.
I will start some shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Don't start those.
I will not. I'll have a panic attack.
You will have a panic attack. I don't mean to start shit, but people are stupid, and then I have to let them know about it.
So usually I can cut them down with my wit. I usually don't. I'm small, so that gets me out of some sticky situations.
sure you
I
would.
look scarier than I actually am, which works to my advantage most of the time. It's gotten me followed around some stores, though. Like, I used to live in Henryville, Indiana, which is this tiny little town, and every time I would go to the grocery store, like they have a tiny little grocery store in Henryville, and they would always follow me around the store. Like I was going to steal everything.
Because of the tats? Or,
I guess so. Well, actually, it
Degenerate.
It was because of my tattoos. Because eventually I asked the lady that worked there. I was like, "So why did y'all follow me around?" They're like, "Oh, well, you just look like somebody that would rob the store." I'm like, "Thanks, Carol."
Karen.
My friend Paige, who is also heavily tattooed, lived in Henryville, and when we went together, not only were we going to steal the
Thelma
whole
and Louise.
store, but like we were going to be giant lesbians while we did it.
Yeah.
Which they were not okay with. But
Probably not.
Carol chilled out after a while.
Sleepy.
It was all good.
Sitting in.
Oh,
All right.
yeah. Now it's time to end it because you all are yawning. Okay,
That's
I
not
get
what
it.
I said. I was just trying. I ugly yawn. I was trying to cover it.
All right. We good?
We're good. I
good.
think. I mean, I have more stories, but another time, sir.
Yeah. Burlesque bands.
Other
all that
podcasts.
good stuff.
You have an offer to show up here anytime you want. We'll
I'm just
make
gonna
it.
start showing up on random Tuesdays at 10 o'clock.
Well, that would
Yeah,
Move
we
out
did.
of the way, I'm
we didn't
talking.
revisit our porn parodies, so I feel
Oh
like
yes, we should just
to be
just for that.
continued.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll put this one on Patreon or Premium.
There you
Snap.
go.
Yeah.
Premium
We-
Snap.
Dude, try it that way.
Patreons.
I can talk. I can narrate
Narrate.
your all's most crazy thing, and just will broker
I
it.
feel like
and-
we should have cartoons that go with it. Like animated
Yeah.
animated dildo fingers.
Or we can just play Pictionary. You have to guess which one.
Ooh,
it is.
yes. Which porn parody is it?
That'd be a
I
fun.
have one thing to say
Aw.
because you were talking about Pornhub earlier, and this is the last thing I'm going to say about porn. So on
No, it's
April,
not.
there was
Until the next
next time.
Yeah.
And with this, because they always do an April Fool's joke, and I got on their April Fool's, and it was Cornhub, and they had like suggestive names, but like butter running down corn. And when you clicked on it, it went to actual porn. But like every
kinda
video on the front
disappointing.
page was corn, and it
That's
was hilarious.
Pornhub.
I like that.
I'm gonna have to make a mental note to always go to Pornhub on April Fool's
Yeah,
Day.
Yeah.
it's always something
Yes, I
different,
agree.
but Cornhub was particularly funny.
Yes.
Yeah, April 1st rolls around. I
Oh.
won't remember, and I'm gonna just message you out of the blue. Where am I supposed to go today?
Pornhub.
Yeah.
Cornhub.
Yes.
Ladies, the pleasure is mine. Anything I can do for you all down the road, hit me up.
Always.
I'm a fan. Talent.
Say we've got an interview in December, right?
Book thing.
Uh huh.
That was out of the blue.
We'll talk about it in
yeah.
December.
Yeah.
I like that notion. It was just totally different. So
Yeah.
I'm interested in knowing that.
And there's a nerd themed burlesque that Tabitha's putting on that
Johnson?
it might be so it might be good
I
for us
like
to
her
come
good.
talk about that in
Sure.
November.
In November, hit
I
me
mean,
up
I'm
because
week
I'm
before.
like my dates. I'm typically about 6 to 8 weeks full. So keep that in mind.
It would be the first
But
week of November.
here's the thing. I usually don't do 10 o'clock because
It's late.
it's
And
late.
It's not nighttime.
And, and then when I think Beth approached me, I'm just like,
10 o'clock
do
sounds
everything.
fine.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I meant to approach you earlier,
No.
but
But there's a select few that I
I'm
would
just gonna
probably
start showing up. Be like, I'm here to talk
So,
about
10
aliens and
ex-
porn. Are you
no,
ready?
yeah. So yeah, as of right now, if you do have something in 10 o'clock's okay, that's probably when we can do it.
I'm a night owl, so I
Yeah.
can handle it usually.
I mean, yeah, I can work shit out.
Good luck
Thank you.
Saturday.
Will you be there?
You should. This is where you go. I'm gonna try really hard to
No,
make
actually,
And then you never
here's-
do. And
then
No,
you don't.
no, I was at that. I was at that one on. I said Melwood, but that's not the right. You know what I'm talking
The
about.
Butcher Town.
Butcher
Social.
Town.
Butcher Town.
I was at that one.
The women's show.
I was.
I think you
it.
were.
I wasn't at that one.
Okay.
You
I'm
had
just
something
saying I
going
was.
on, I think.
I did.
A
I had
wedding or something.
I think I had a wedding that day.
There is a
I have a wedding on Saturday.
there's an aviation show at Bowman Field that I'm definitely going to Saturday. That's been in the plans, but I don't think it's going to be too late. You all are going 9?
9:30. Burlesque doesn't start till 10.
All right.
the bar
On that
said
yawn, it's time to shut it down.
It is
Shut it down.
Until the next time, always fun to hang out with you lovely ladies. We'll do it again whenever you want on at 10 o'clock on
I'm
a
just
Tuesday.
gonna start showing up.